Lovely day for baseball action here in San Luis Obispo. 12th ranked UC Irvine and Cal Poly not up for game 2 of the 3-game series. Two teams atop the Big West. And this, a very terrific first game of action, which puts UC Irvine atop the Big West with a 2-game lead over Cal Poly. Mustangs looking to bounce back after losing 3 of their last 4. This Cal Poly team started out so hot in Big West play, has cooled off as of late. Of course, here with Eric Burdick, I'm Max Kelton. A 6-4 final yesterday. Irvine took the win.
And the Mustangs have won 3 straight series against UC Irvine, and if they're going to make it 4, they will have to bounce back for wins on Saturday and Sunday.
Got to start today. Trevor Hansen on the hill for this UC Irvine team that has been so good with its rotation. You look at how good this team has been with Hansen on the hill, and he had 9 scoreless last time around. Yesterday, Jack Collins started things off hot. He set the tone, a 3-run home run, but then after, UC Irvine would come back. A 4-run third frame. Capped things off late in the ball game with James Castanola and his second home run of the day. He was terrific, and UC Irvine would win it 6-4 the final here in San Luis Obispo. Stay with us. We've got the anthem and more coming in just a moment. Game 2 of the series between 12th ranked UC Irvine and Cal Poly. The anthem has come to a close here. We are moments away from first pitch. 12th ranked UC Irvine and Cal Poly. The second game sandwiched in a 3-game series. Irvine took the opener yesterday 6-4. Cal Poly looking to bounce back today. How about these Anteaters? 2 games above the Mustangs in the Big West standings. And Cal Poly will have Josh Volmerding on the hill. And you look at the standings right here. Irvine had been in second place for the primary stretch in that first Big West stretch, and then now you look at the middle teams. Things are getting a little shaky. Only 5 teams make the Big West tournament this year.
You have 6 teams with 10, 11, or 12 losses vying for the last 2 spots in the Big West Conference tournament in a few weeks at Cal State Fullerton. And they're just 2 games apart, and anything could happen with the number 4 and 5 spot in the Big West between those 6 teams. Right now, Irvine, Cal Poly, and probably Cal State Fullerton have pretty much a lock on getting into the tournament. It's the 4th and 5th seeds that need to be determined over the next 3 weeks after this weekend.
And of course, the first Big West tournament since 1998, and Cal State Fullerton will host the Big West tournament. Many coaches wanted it to be a neutral site, but instead, Fullerton will host it. That'll be late in May. Until then, we get into Josh Volmerding, what he can do on the hill. Volmerding, the Saturday starter for Cal Poly. He comes off an outing at UC Santa Barbara that he struggled a little bit with command, Eric.
I believe he walked 6 batters in that ball game, and that was his by UC Santa Barbara. One thing won the opener of that series, but fell in the last 2 games to fall into second place in the Big West.
That game at Santa Barbara just a week ago, he went 5 2/3, 4 earned runs. But game before that, 4 2/3 with 2 earned runs against Hawaii. So he'll face this UC Irvine team that dons the best batting average of any program in the Big West Conference. Frankie Carney and Colin Yeaman both batting above 400 this season. Yeaman, who leads all Big West players in runs scored this year, he came home to score twice yesterday.
The only real change in the UC Irvine lineup is a new designated hitter, Landon Gaz, in the 8th spot, with Anthony Martinez playing at first base today. Yeah, otherwise pretty much the same as yesterday. Cal Poly with the same players that played in yesterday's ball game, with the exception of right field. Dylan Kordick gets the start there.
You see Kordick in right field here. DH Cam Hoyland. Aside from that, just about everybody the same. Dode, Fenn, Castellon, and Garza on the infield. And Volmerding, his battery mate Jack Collins, ready to go for the top of the first frame. At the plate, Carney. First pitch from Volmerding. A fastball in there for a called strike 1. Time of first pitch, 3:06 local time. It was a little overcast, a little rainy earlier today, but things have cleared up a bit. Here's the 0-1. That missed away for ball 1.
We don't expect any rain this afternoon or early this evening, but we had some rain last night. We might have a little more 35 to 40% chance, but it shouldn't affect the game today or the 1 o'clock series finale tomorrow.
Kearney fouls this one away. Well, we are expecting those clouds to roll out. Sunny skies expected here in about an hour or two. Prime conditions right around that 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock hour. Volmerding set here for the 1-2 offer. Swung on foul, but could not be squeezed by Jack Collins. Calling balls and strikes today, Eduardo Ruiz, the home plate umpire. Justin Havey is the first base umpire. Troy Hodak, he's along the third base line. Just a 3-man umpire crew. Count remains 1-2 to the top of the order in this first frame. The pitch. Just missed the zone, but boy, it was close. Volmerding has pitched a couple of gems this season. His best outing, 8 scoreless, 1-hit innings at UC Davis in a win, 11-0. Pitch clock down to 2. The 2-2 offer. Kearney battles another away.
Yeah, that game up at Davis, Volmerding had a no-hitter through 8. Gave up a leadoff single in the 9th, and then came out of the ball game, and Tanner Seguski finished up.
It was exactly 1 year to the date when Griffin Ness threw 8 innings of no-hit baseball against Cal State Fullerton. Kearney fouled it away. And we saw Ness yesterday. Aside from a 4-run third inning, he pitched pretty well. His changeup was certainly working. Earned no decision in the Friday game. Win yesterday went to Ricky Ojeda in relief for UC Irvine, his 10th win of the season. That leads all NCAA players. Another foul ball.
8 pitches in the at-bat. Kearney will see at least 9 from Josh Volmerding.
This is exactly what you want from your leadoff hitter, a really patient guy. You see the whole arsenal from Volmerding here. It gives you a sense for the rest of the guys in the order, 1, 2, 3, what he can do on the hill. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Volmerding takes one low. That's downstairs. Very good at bat from Frankie Kearney to lead off this game 2 of the series in San Luis Obispo. Kearney batting .422. Nice take. Payoff pitch. Ground ball to Castellon. Off a hop, it skips away. Kearney is safe.
Fortunately for the Mustangs, the ball did not end up in the UC Irvine dugout, so Kearney stays on at first, leading off the ball game, reaching base by the error.
Kearney aboard with nobody away in the first frame. Cal Poly is typically a very sure-handed defensive team, the 6th best fielding percentage in the country coming into the weekend. Castellon, the shortstop, with his 2nd straight ball game with an error. Had been one of the best defensive shortstops in the nation up until this weekend. Colin Yeaman at the plate. Ground ball to Castellon, fields it and flips. That's one, on to first. There's the double play.
That ball caromed off the mound, and it became a nice, easy hop for Castellon to grab the ball and turn the 6-4-3 double play. So
All right,
10-pitch at-bat for Kearney, and then on the very next pitch, he's got 2 outs and the base is empty.
He makes up for it. Routine 6-4-3, 2 away in the first. Jacob McCombs in the 3 spot. He's the center fielder. First pitch. Missed downstairs. McCombs had an awesome grab in center field at the warning track yesterday. He slammed into the wall. It was for out number 27 to close the ball game. 1-0. That's away. Yanked a fastball. Volmerding's got a 4-pitch mix. That 4-seam fastball to go with the changeup, the cutter, and the curveball. McCombs batting third out of Rancho Cucamonga. He takes ball 3 off the inside. The sophomore spent his freshman year with SDSU San Diego State. In a 3-game series against UC Irvine, he went 6 for 10 with 4 extra base hits. Right down the pipe for strike one. Irvine head coach and the 7th-year head coach at that, Ben Orloff, said, well, I got to have this guy. When he put his name into the transfer portal, he went after him, and luckily McCombs came up. Now, ropes one into center field for a base hit, a 2-out single. Jacob McCombs is aboard.
Not often your top 3 hitters in the order have batting averages above 390, but that's what UC Irvine has. They've had a walk and a single in this inning, or pardon me, an error and a single in this inning, but so far no damage yet as far as the scoreboard.
Well, don't speak too soon. Chase Call at the plate. He's terrific at the dish, the cleanup man. He takes strike one. Call, the senior out of Porter Ranch, a 2023 All Big West Honorable Mention selection, went 2 for 3 yesterday. In. 0-1. Breaking ball, cut on and fouled. What makes Irvine so good, one of the reasons at that, is how good they are against left-handed pitching. 18th best batting average in the country against lefties, and of course, Volmerding, the southpaw on the hill. Ethan Marmey scheduled to go tomorrow for Cal Poly, also a lefty. Nothing in 2.
Volmerding 1 pitch away from getting out of this first inning jam, if you will. Double play certainly helped.
Swung on, foul tipped and squeezed. Collins holds onto the baseball for strike 3, and Chase Call goes down swinging. 1 hit in the inning, but Volmerding gets called a turn, and Cal Poly to the plate when we come back. Happy to welcome you back here to Baggett Stadium, St. Louis Obispo on the Central Coast of California. Beautiful day for Game 2 of the series between Cal Poly and UC Irvine. First we see of Trevor Hansen, the sophomore right-handed pitcher who is 6-0 on the year. Boy, he pitched a gem 1 week ago against Hawaii at home in Irvine through 9 innings of 3 hits, scoreless baseball in the win.
You know, the Big West coaches, or I guess it's the SIDs who vote for Player of the Week. UC Irvine had 2 candidates, but they can only nominate 1 because tomorrow's pitcher, Ryder Brooks, threw a 2-hit shutout. And Cal Poly had, UC Santa Barbara had a pitcher, Flora, who threw a 1-hit shutout. Who do you pick out of that group?
Well, Cal Poly was on the wrong end of that 1-hit
Yes,
shutout. And here,
that was last Saturday.
Yep, the Big West Pitcher of the Week honors. This is the lineup for Cal Poly. You see Doday at the top of the order. Jack Collins, the cleanup man, who hit a 3-run shot yesterday. Dylan Kordick, his first start of the series. He's in the 8th spot. Just about everything else remains the same. Here's Hansen. That's taken high for ball 1. Well, the leadoff man for UC Irvine, Frankie Carney, had a great at-bat to open up his afternoon, a 10-pitch at-bat at that. Now Doday ahead in the count 2-0. Yesterday went 0 for 4 to snap a 17-game on-base streak. That was dating back to before his injury. Drives one to left field that gets down for a knock. Doday with an aggressive turn. He'll retreat to the bag. Leadoff single for Cal Poly.
Zach Doday trying to get that batting average back above 400. It dropped to 379 with his 0 for 4 day yesterday, back up to 385 here at the UC Irvine defense. Anteaters. I think that's supposed to be one word.
Anthony Martinez, the DH yesterday, now at first base. Castanola, who started at first yesterday, he moves over to the 3rd. Ryan Fenn in the 2 spot. A hanging breaking ball in there for strike one called. Nice pickoff move to first. Good location with that throw. Swung on and bounced foul. Allowed just 3 hits last week, but Dode with the first hit of the day on the first at bat for Cal Poly. Mustangs were able to drop a 3 spot in the opening frame yesterday against UC Irvine, but that lead was erased after a 4-run third inning for the Anteaters. Ground ball left side. This could be 2. It's bobbled by the third baseman Castanola.
And Dode very lucky he's not called for interference. He almost overslid the bag and into the second baseman Bermudez. But no double play called. 1 out.
So Fenn trades places with Dode. There's 1 away. Three-hole hitting Alejandro Garza steps in. Fenn dove back safely. He was about 4 or 5 steps off the bag. Big primary lead. Has to be a little bit more careful with that nifty pickoff move from Hansen. Garza takes strike 1 off the inside edge. Able to hold the bat back. That's the changeup that just drops below the zone. It's a nice pitch that he's got, a 3-pitch mix. Fastball, curveball, changeup. Loves to work the curveball 12-6. That's why he induces a high swing rate, a swing and miss rate at the bottom of the zone. His fastball has ride to it. He works that toward the top half of the zone. And the curveball looks like the fastball until it drops. Garza well in front of the changeup, and he sends it foul. Garza in the 3-hole of the order. 1 for 4 yesterday with a single and a run scored. That was in the first frame. Did he chase? Yes, he did. That's strike 3. One of the toughest to strike out of the nation. Could not hold the bat back here. It's a beauty of a pitch. There's 2 down. Certainly went around. Hansen has his first strikeout of the day.
And here comes a guy with 14 doubles and 11 home runs. Had 1 of each. Last night, a 3-run home run in the first inning to give Cal Poly the early 3-0 lead. UC Irvine bouncing back for the 6-4 win.
One of 3 Mustangs with a multi-hit effort yesterday. As ball 1 missed to Jack Collins at the plate. Fenn on first base with 2 away in the opening inning. Ball 2. Three infielders on the third base side of the infield. Second baseman Bermudez shaded behind the bag. 2 balls, no strikes. Just caught the bottom of the zone. Strike 1 called. That's that bending 12-6 breaking ball. That is about 8 inches of vertical drop to it. Hansen, who's 6-0 this year, has as many starts as he did last season. Over 6, or as many wins, I should say, over 6 less starts. Just been a really solid piece and gotten some offensive production. Fenn dives back safely. Quality starts in 5 of his last 7 games. Cal Poly looking to jump on him early with 2 away. 2-2. Yanked it foul. Well, Hansen has been in the starting lineup for UC Irvine all season long, but he's the only pitcher to don that honor. The Anteaters shifted their starting rotation about 6 weeks ago. The 2 guys that had started in the rotation prior to that really not pitching anymore. Sky to Bermudez. Second baseman sure-handedly grabs it for out number 3. 1 hit in the inning, no runs to show for it. Scoreless after 1, 12th ranked UC Irvine and Cal Poly. Well, look inside the Cal Poly dugout after 1 inning, no score to show. 12th ranked UC Irvine and Cal Poly, 2 teams atop the Big West, both making a race toward the end of the season. Josh Volmerding back on the mound here for the Cal Poly Mustangs, faced 4, retired 3. He'll take on the 5, 6, 7 batters for UC Irvine. Volmerding, his 11th start of the season. You remember back to that opening weekend of the year? He really struggled against UCLA in his first start. So 2 days later, LMU in a midweek, Larry Lee threw Volmerding again. He got settled and then had 5 2/3 of 1-run baseball later that week at then number 1 Texas A&M in his 3rd start in just 2 weeks. Kicks and delivers. First pitch to Anthony Martinez, tailed outside, ball 1.
Volmerding is 3rd in the country with a lot of other players with 1 more start than most of the other pitchers in the country.
As this is leveled into left field for a base knock, a leadoff single for Martinez. His first hit of the series. Volmerding has the capabilities of being an ace in his own right. Such pitchability. Typically does have some solid command, but struggled to find the zone last weekend at Santa Barbara. Walked 6.
And now a guy at the plate who had 2 home runs yesterday. Castanola hitting .309.
Strike 1. Those 2 home runs yesterday for Castanola match his total over a season and a half with UC Irvine. And just 2 career home runs coming into this ball game yesterday. 0-1. Just missed. With that, Castanola also moves up 1 spot in the order from 7 to 6. 1-1. 1-2 count now for Volmerding. Nobody away in the top of the second. Wouldn't worry too much about the runner. Only 13 stolen bases for UC Irvine this year. That's tied 3rd last in the country. 1-2. Missed high.
Probably could have said the same thing about Castanola, about hitting any home run. You would think he would do it, and instead he belted 2 yesterday.
Including 1 in the 9th inning. Check swing. Yes, he did. Out number 1. Second strikeout of the day for Josh Volmerding. That 9th inning home run for Castanola effectively put the game away. A 1-run ball game in the 9th. There's a little bit of hope for the Cal Poly offense. 2 runs against Ricky Ojeda. Such a good relief pitcher on the hill. I don't know. Puts you in a little deeper of a hole.
Ricky Ojeda was a losing pitcher in a game against Cal Poly a year ago, but he was quite dominant in his 4-inning release stint yesterday.
As Blake Penso swings and misses for strike 1. Well, Ojeda has been dominant, not just against Cal Poly this year, against the entirety of the slate he's faced. 10-0 on the year. 10-0. Unbelievable. Those 10 wins lead all players in the NCAA. Penso lets ball one go outside. 0 for 4 yesterday. The catcher behind the dish. He's in the 7th spot of the order this afternoon with Martinez on first. Here comes the 1-1. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Volmerding set. Now he delivers. Got him to swing. That's strike number 3. Back-to-back Ks for Josh Volmerding, second out of the frame.
We had nearly 2,200 in the house last night. I'm not sure we're going to have that many today. It's possible, but the weather may have kept a couple of fans home. Rained overnight. No batting practice on the field. Those were in the cages today, but the players did do in and out on the field prior to the 3 p.m. start.
Well, when you wake up with rain pelting the ceiling, it doesn't scream baseball weather. As strike 1 is swung through and missed from Landon Gaz, his first start of the series. That said, skies have cleared up well. We expect it to continue to clear up later on in the afternoon. If you're in the area locally, this is a great place to watch a ball game right now. 0-1, strike 2 called.
You know, we talk about umpires' strike calls while we were getting ready for today's game. I like this home plate umpire. All he does is just raise the right hand high in the air. Strike 2. Nothing flashy whatsoever.
Nothing in 2. Didn't get to see it there.
Eduardo Ruiz behind home plate.
Eric said that his strikeout call would be, son, you're out. That's all it would be. He keeps things simple.
That's about it.
Puts a fist up. Son, you're out. I'm more flashy myself. I want to do the punch out.
You're the Dutch Renner kind of guy.
0-2. Just missed.
If you remember Dutch Renner, Major League umpire, if anywhere in the ballpark you would be able to hear Dutch Renner's called strike 3. He was very vociferous.
Now the 1-2. That misses low for ball 2. Me demonstrative? I don't know.
No. Dutch Renner. Yes, you demonstrative. I will agree with that 100%.
All right, Martinez on first base. He led things off with a single. Back-to-back strikeouts since the 2-2. We might not have the same crowd as yesterday. This place is pretty full. Star Wars Day on hand. Remember, Cal Poly's on the road next week for May 4th. In Bakersfield. 2-2. Another pitch fouled away. "35 pitches on the afternoon thus far for Josh Volmerding. A strike away from getting out of the second inning without allowing a run. Landon Gaz has done a nice job battling. Got him! Strike 3. 4th strikeout of the day. Josh Volmerding rings up 3 in a row. We'll move to the bottom of the second inning. No score here in San Luis Obispo. We welcome you back in the stands here at Baggage Stadium. Sure, it's not totally packed, but it's a pretty full house for Game 2 of the series between 12th-ranked UC Irvine and Cal Poly. Anteaters won it yesterday. Poly looking to even up the series today. It's not just all Cal Poly fans in attendance, by the way. This Anteater team has a pretty good fan contingent on hand. They travel well from Irvine up the Central Coast. Heard them last evening in the late innings chanting, "Let's go Irvine." 5, 6, 7 due up in the second inning to face off against Trevor Hansen. Casey Murray Jr. at the plate. He takes strike one. Murray yesterday went 2 for 4 with a pair of singles. 0-1. Strike two now.
UC Irvine picked up a 30th win last night. Anytime you get 30 wins,
Fine. And if the Mustangs are able to take this series after losing yesterday, it would be a tie atop the Big West. Line drive into center field for a base hit from Casey Murray Jr. He keeps the hot bat alive. Now hits in 34 of 41 games for Cal Poly this season, a leadoff single.
Murray's had a couple of 10-game hitting streaks and a 7-game hitting streak this year. He has responded very well as he moves closer to the 300 mark. It's now at 293.
Tremendously consistent hitter in the 5 spot of the lineup. Never tries to do too much. Takes what the pitcher gives him. That brings up Cam Hoyland in the 6 hole. He's the designated hitter. Murray on first base. Hansen missed. Nope, he got the zone outside. Pardon me.
It's a bit of a slow call
Yeah.
by Ruiz, but very consistent.
As a broadcaster, I am a fan of the umpires who just give it to me quickly. I don't like waiting.
Most radio announcers and TV announcers and video stream announcers are very impatient. They want to get that call out quickly.
0-2 Hoyland, a stinger up the middle for a base knock. Murray holds up at second base, and Cam Hoyland with the single off of Trevor Hansen. Cal Poly with 2 aboard and nobody out in the second.
That literally was almost off Trevor Hansen. He was able to get out of the way of it. And the base hit up the middle. Cal Poly third hit of the game puts runners at first and second with nobody out.
Hoyland's been swinging the bat well. For Cam, it's his second hit of the series. Hoyland takes a walking lead from first base. Martinez doesn't hold him. Nate Castellon at the dish. Had a multi-hit day yesterday. Castellon lays one down. Both runners try to advance. Hansen on to first. And Bermudez with the nifty footwork dances around the bag to get the out.
That's the 11th sacrifice bunt by Nate Castellon this year. Had a safety squeeze bunt in the Tuesday game against Fresno State. And that's the lead in the Big West.
Well, Castellon does his job to advance the 2 runners into scoring position. Bermudez, the second baseman, had to cover with Martinez, the first baseman, charging on the play. Typically on a throw like that, you'll hear the infield saying inside, inside, to designate the inside half of the bag. That throw is toward the outside as Kordick swings and misses. His first start of the series. A right fielder that has not yet made an error this year, but has struggled a little bit at the plate as of late. A guy who takes this thing as seriously as it comes. 0-2 after the swing and a miss. Right here, you just got to put the ball in play. First base unoccupied. Blocked by Penso. 1-2 count. Hoyland on second base, Murray on third. Kordick down to 256 batting this year. That's the lowest of anybody in the lineup today for Cal Poly, but at some points we've seen him right around the 330 mark. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Here comes the freshman, Dante Vecchini. These are the situations you live for as a hitter. The pressure is on for the lefty, Bikini, who starts in left field for Cal Poly in the 9th spot of the order with 2 aboard and 2 out. Bottom of the 2nd inning. Mustangs look to strike first. Bikini swings and misses. That changeup that just sinks below the zone got him to turn. Pair of singles to open up the inning. A sac hit and the strikeout. Hansen. This time Bikini able to watch it go. Curveball dances in, strike 2. 12-6 break to it. Now he's seen it. Patience is key, sure, but you got to be able to protect in this situation. Hansen. Bikini just reaches and tags one foul. Dante Bikini, who through much of the year had led off for Cal Poly, now shifts into the 9 spot of the order. Top of the order is Zach Dode in the on-deck circle. He singled in the first at bat. Hansen, the righty, 1-2. High chopper to the right side, and Martinez finishes off the inning. Cal Poly with 2 hits to lead off the frame. No runs to show for it. Scoreless after 2. Eric Burdick will have the play-by-play for the 3rd inning. And
9-1-2 in the Irvine bat order as we head to the top of the 3rd. No score. Cal Poly with 3 hits, and UC Irvine with 2. All have been stranded. Josh Volmerding has thrown 37 pitches in his first 2 innings of work. Struck out 3 in the 2nd inning after a leadoff single by Martinez. UC Irvine winning the opener last night 6-4. Snapping a 4-4 tie with single runs in the 8th and 9th.
Well, the run in the 8th went unearned after an error with 2 away. And then the run in the 9th, an unexpected solo home run.
Will Bermudez, second baseman for UC Irvine, will lead it off here in the 3rd with his .232 batting average. Volmerding towing the far left side of the rubber, and the first pitch is a called strike. Series finale will be Sunday at 1 o'clock. Ethan Marmee on the mound for Cal Poly. Ryder Brooks for UC Irvine. Next pitch, inside corner, strike 2.
How about Ryder Brooks and how good he's been? I won't get the chance to talk about him tomorrow, so I'll mention him real quickly today. Just been electric over his few starts this year.
Here comes the 0-2. Well outside, ball 1.
Brooks last week coming off a 2-hit shutout with 10 strikeouts against Hawaii. Hasn't allowed a run, an earned run in 15 innings. Chris Sylvester will have the call with you tomorrow, Sunday, 1 o'clock. Should be an awesome game.
Ground ball to the right side. And taking it to the bag himself is Zach Dode for out number 1. Frankie Carney, the leadoff hitter for UC Irvine. Reached on an error, opening the ball game, hitting .417.
He had a 10-pitch at bat that resulted with him getting on base. Any way you can.
Volmerding into the windup. First pitch to Carney, high and inside.
Kearney did get out of the way of that baseball, but Irvine is notorious for racking up hit batsmen on the offensive side. 101 hit batsmen this year. One of the highest numbers in all of baseball.
Check swing foul. The sun peeking through the few blue spots we have in the sky right now. Most of the blue is out over the ocean. The clouds are a few miles inland, including right over Baggett Stadium. Those clouds will move away, but another front expected later tonight. 1-1 pitch is over at the knees, 1-2.
Yeah, the sun is coming down, ain't it, Eric?
Yep.
Heck of a day here.
It's a little chilly outside the press box. The wind blowing from 10 to 20 miles an hour. Out toward left. 2-2 to Kearney.
Volmerding has those days where he's really dealing. He's also got some of those days where he can blow up a little bit. This is a big inning for him.
Check swing. Swing, says the third base umpire, Troy Hodak. 5th strikeout for Volmerding. 4 in a row. And 1 out here in the 3rd. Check that, 4 of his last 5.
Absolutely.
I forgot the ground ball to Dode.
Yep.
Colin Yeaman grounded into a 6-4-3 double play in the 1st inning, hitting .405.
Not the guy you want to toy with, however.
Fastball right over the heart of the plate, 0-1.
Yeaman, who scored twice yesterday, leads the Big West with 46 runs this season. Also leads the conference in batting average, hits, home runs, slugging percentage. Rattle off any offensive category. Good chance this guy's at the top.
Next one below the zone, 1-1. 1 out, bases empty in the 3rd. Volmerding ahead of the count, delivers. Swung on and missed. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 6 for the game for Josh Volmerding. We are scoreless, heading to the bottom of the 3rd. Bottom of the 3rd, no score between Cal Poly and UC Irvine. Second game of a 3-game Big West Conference series. Irvine taking the opener last night, 6-4. Mustangs trying to set up a rubber game tomorrow. The Mustangs have played 3 rubber games this year, losing 2 of them. The only win in a rubber game against Hawaii a couple of weeks ago right here at Baggett Stadium. Zach Today, leadoff hitter for Cal Poly, and will lead off the bottom of the 3rd. He singled in the 1st, hitting .385. Trevor Hansen, first pitch in the bottom of the 3rd, outside, ball 1. Next pitch, same. Oh, just caught the outside corner at the knees. Strike 1. Looks like it was in the same spot as the previous pitch.
Right.
1-1 in the dirt. Ball 2. Today missed 9 games earlier this month. Returned to the lineup last weekend at UC Santa Barbara. 2-1 pitch, high, ball 3.
What a spot to make his return, by the way. Cal Poly was trailing by 2 in the 9th inning of Game 2 of that series. Dode steps in, singles up the middle.
A leadoff walk for Zach Dode here in the bottom of the 3rd.
That was as a pinch hitter, by the way. Now Dode has reached safely in each of the first 2 plate appearances today. looking to get back into that rhythm. One of the things that he really struggled with that injury was losing weight. He said, I got to start to bulk up a little bit again after working out this last week. Might be right back to where he was.
For Dode, his 19th walk of the season, second on the club to Bikini. So to first, Dode is back. Just 3 stolen bases on the year.
Of course, Bikini has 55 more at-bats than Zach Dode this year now.
Ryan Fenn at the plate. Shows bunt and fouls it off. Fenn grounded into a fielder's choice in the first inning. His average at .316.
Well, this is that small ball that Lee likes to play. We saw Castellón do it a couple innings back, trying to move the 2 runners over. This eliminates the double play and puts one in scoring position if he can get it down.
Mustangs had 2 runners in scoring position in the second, but could not bring either one of them home. A strikeout and a grounder to first, ending that threat. Couple of throws. Dode back. Fenn takes high, showing fun again. 1-1.
Dode's not necessarily a stolen base threat on his own, but we will see him go more frequently in a hit and run situation than just a straight up steal.
Fenn bunts, and he pulled the bat back in time. 2-1. Alejandro Garza on deck.
This is that part of the order you really got to be careful about.
Fourth pickoff throw to first base by Trevor Hansen. Do one pitch, bunted, back to the mound. Hansen has it, throws to Bermudez covering first base. At the first out of the inning, Dode advances to second on the sacrifice bunt.
Ryan Fenn really had to work to get that sac hit down.
Well, you only want to bunt strikes. If the pitch is out of the strike zone, you pull the bat back and wait for the next one. Here's Garza, who struck out his first time up. Batting average of .343. Dode at second with 1 out. Ground ball to the shortstop. Yeaman has it, throws to first for the second out. The ball hit in front of Dode, so he had to remain at second.
Yeah, with how quick Yeaman is, he could flash it right back. Well, here's your SoCal impact player. SoCal starts here all the way from Paso Robles down to Arroyo Grande. Start your SoCal journey today. Blasted a 3-run jack yesterday in the opening inning. His team high 11th home run, you see.
Also had a double in yesterday's ball game. His team high 14. Collins at the plate with 2 outs, trying to score Dode from second base. Timeout for the moment. It looked like Dode had broken his belt. And we'll go without one for the remainder of this inning. Collins hitting .325, light out to second base, his first time up. Wild pitch all the way to the backstop. Dode advances to third. Collins.
Yeah, that ball was just spiked well in front of the plate. Go ahead, Eric.
47 RBIs, is third in the Big West. Collected 3 of them last night on that 3-run home run that Max just mentioned. 1-0 pitch is low, ball 2. Mustangs with another runner in scoring position. They had 2 in the second inning, couldn't score. 1 more here in the third. 2-0 pitch, swung on and grounded foul outside of third.
Mustangs really get ahead, 2 balls, no strikes and counts, but that's when they love to swing. They're expecting a pitch in the zone. They want to attack that ball. Very aggressive ahead in counts.
Hansen pitching from the stretch, misses outside, 3-1.
And this is an aggressive group in general. Eric, where do the Mustangs rank in walk rate, by the way? Do you know?
I don't.
Tied for dead last in the nation. They want to swing.
Swung on and missed, and the count full. Is that necessarily a negative statistic?
No, but it is a statistic. It's just a fact at that.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You did see Dode walk over to first.
3-2 pitch in the dirt, ball 4. And Casey Murray Jr. will come to the plate with runners at first and third, 2 outs.
Dead last in the nation, but 2 walks in this inning. Runners at the corners, each by way of walk, and Murray can now open up the scoring. He's already got a single today.
That single lifted his average to 293. And Daniel Babona, the pitching coach for UC Irvine, will go out to the mound to chat with Trevor Hansen, who entered today's game with a 6-0 record, 3.20 ERA, and a strikeout to walk ratio of better than 3-1. 63 strikeouts and just 17 walks.
Also leads the conference in innings pitched this year. Came into today with 59 innings. He's gone deep so many times. Quality starts in 5 of his last 7, including that 3-hit complete game shutout a week ago. And that was on 1 less day of rest, wasn't it?
Yes, and this weekend everybody got 1 extra day of rest. Instead of the 6th of last week, it's 8 this week. Last week, Easter Sunday. Babona, a quick chat on the mound, back in the dugout, and here comes Casey Murray. First and third, 2 outs. First pitch to Murray, high and inside. Murray singled, leading off the second. Mustangs eventually had runners at second and third with 1 out and failed to score. 1-0 pitch at the knees for a strike. Inside corner. Murray looking for a sign from his head coach. Larry Lee in the third base coach's box. 1-1 pitch instead of throw to first. Collins is back. Collins has 1 stolen base.
Came against Fresno State earlier this week.
Ground ball, diving stop by the third baseman. Gets up, throws to first. James Castanola having quite a series for UC Irvine. He was playing almost on the line, dove to his right on the line, and makes the play to keep Cal Poly off the scoreboard here in the third. No score as we head to the 4th.
Welcome back here to San Luis Obispo. No score. We're into the top of the 4th inning. UC Irvine up to the plate with Josh Volmerding back on the hill. Volmerding dealing so far today. He's struck out 6 over 3 innings, has allowed just 2 hits. No score so far. UC Irvine at this point yesterday was leading 4-3 over Cal Poly. Anteaters put up a 4 spot in the 3rd inning. Today, neither team has been able to get on the board. A beautiful play by the third baseman Castanola to end that last half inning and keep us scoreless. 3-4-5 due up in the frame. Jacob McCombs singled in his first at bat. 1 for 1 today. He leads things off. McCombs the center fielder. And Volmerding. Not quite sure whether it's a foul or whether he got hit.
Home plate umpire Eduardo Ruiz has awarded first base, and now he wants Larry Lee wants the umpire to confer.
Remember, UC Irvine, one of the best teams in the country, or I should say, highest numbers in the country at getting hit by pitches. Better way to put it.
Well, numbers are numbers.
A skill is a skill. Watch it again.
We can check the Big West scoreboard while this conference is going on. There's only one other game currently underway with a Big West team, and that's UC Santa Barbara against UC San Diego. And the umpires have ruled hit by pitch.
So Combs on first base to lead off this fourth inning.
They're in the fifth inning. Santa Barbara leads San Diego 6-5, bottom of the fifth.
Chase Call now at the plate. Call struck out swinging in his last at bat. He's in the cleanup spot of the order. Nobody away, runner on first.
For 13th batter he has hit this season.
That's down. $102 hit batsman for UC Irvine this year. That's fourth in the nation. Call it a skill, if you will. 1-0. Call tries to lay it down. Sent it foul.
Call was almost out of the batter's box when he made contact with the ball.
You see Ryan Fenn, number 8 on your screen. Typically a second baseman. He's playing on the third base side of the second base bag. A 3-man shift over there for the righty Call. 1-1. Call hacks one in the air, foul territory. And out of play. Dode couldn't get to it.
I was going to say that we've seen Bermudez cover first base twice on bunt. There is no way Fenn would be able to do that with the shift on.
No doubt.
Which means Volmerding will have to cover the bag.
Yeah, but with 2 away, it would be a gamble to lay one down here. 2 strikes, I should say. Volmerding, 1-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Strikeout number 7 of the day for Josh Volmerding. Volmerding's season high for strikeouts came in that 8 innings of one-hit baseball at UC Davis. Struck out 9 that day. Here we are in the top half of the 4th inning with 1 away for Anthony Martinez. Ground ball right side, foul. Martinez laced a single to left field in his last at bat. He's 1 for 1.
Rest of the Big West schedule tonight: Cal State Northridge at Long Beach State. Long Beach State won last night. UC Riverside, the non-conference game at Sacramento State. Sacramento State won last night. Cal State Fullerton at UC Davis. Fullerton winning the opener. And Cal State Bakersfield at Hawaii. Bakersfield winning the opener last night on the islands.
Strike 2 in there to Martinez. How about Bakersfield coming alive a little bit? That Hawaii team shaky after getting swept in Irvine last week. The week before that, lost 2 of 3 in San Luis Obispo. Volmerding, 0-2. Just missed away.
Bakersfield now 8-11 in conference play. They're one of the 6 teams that could conceivably work their way up to a 4th or 5th seed in the Big West Conference tournament.
Cal Poly will see him next week in Bakersfield, a 3-game series. Here's the 1-2. Fouled off. Martinez, a power hitter. He's batting .292 this season. His freshman year, 2 years back, 19 doubles. Last year, 18 two-baggers. One ball and 2 strikes. Runner goes. Collins bobbled the throw. So McCombs is safe. He's now on to second base with 1 away. Martinez at the plate in a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
For McCombs, his first stolen base of the year.
You can see on the transfer, Collins just couldn't come up with it. 2 balls and 2 strikes, with Fenn playing in shallow right field, the second baseman. Volmerding comes home. Got him! Swing and a miss for strike 3. 8th strikeout for Josh Volmerding.
At the second out of the inning, and now Volmerding has to challenge Castanola, who made a fine defensive play in the last half inning for UC Irvine and hit 2 home runs yesterday.
Those 2 home runs highlighted the 6-4 win for UC Irvine, but he struck out swinging in his first at bat today, 0 for 1. Remember, McCombs reached as a hit batsman. The ball hit near the bottom of the bat, right around the hands. He's now on second base with 2 away. Volmerding looks to second. Now he comes home. Ahead in the count once more with an 0-2. Castanola in the 6th spot of the order. He's the third baseman. Just made a fine defensive play in the field to save a run or 2. The 2-strike pitch. That hit Castanola on the elbow.
14th batter that Volmerding has hit this year, and it came on an 0-2 pitch.
Those could be costly mistakes if he can't get through Blake Penso, the catcher. 2 hit batsmen in this inning. For whatever reason, the Anteaters, with some of the highest numbers in the country in hit batsmen, now have runners on first and second. 2 away. Penso at the plate, 0 for 1. Strike 1 called. He is getting up in pitch count. This is pitch number 65 of the day. 0-1. Ball 1 inside. Runners on first and second it is. McCombs on second base, Castanola on first. That's fouled. Volmerding, his season high at 9 strikeouts. He's 1 shy. 1-2. Down and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, and 2 aboard. Top of the 4th inning. 2 teams atop the Big West Conference. Irvine 2 games in front of Cal Poly, won the series opener yesterday. Volmerding steps off. Has been the Saturday guy since the get-go this season for Cal Poly. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes Josh Volmerding. Battled in the air and out of play.
On deck for UC Irvine is Landon Gaz, DH, making just his 6th start of the year. Batting average of 167 coming in.
Two. High and out. Count runs full. Volmerding struggled with command a week ago against UC Santa Barbara. Walked 6. as the Mustangs would suffer a 5-4 loss. The payoff pitch. Back up the middle for a base hit. Volmerding got out of the way of a screamer. In from second base, Jacob McCombs scores the first run of the ball game. An RBI single from Blake Penso gets Irvine on the board.
Neil McIver, the athletic trainer for Cal Poly Baseball, is going to go out and have a chat with Volmerding. Make sure it looked like it might have hit him on the left hand.
That's significant. That's his pitching hand. Yeah, he's looking at his hand right here. You can see it. With how good he has been today, this would be just the most unfortunate of occurrences. We're going to see another replay here. As Volmerding met on the mound. Here it is. Back up the middle. Boy, it was close. I'll try a couple here. Hard struck ball by Blake Penso to score the first run of the day for either side.
First pitch was okay. The second one went to the backstop. Looks like they might give him one more. Nope. He says he's fine.
Well, Landon Gaz at the plate here after Volmerding had a scary moment. 12th ranked UC Irvine scores first in the fourth frame. Penso, who just drove home the leading run, he's now on first base. On second base, James Castelloa, reached by Way, the hit batsman. Down on the count 0-2. Now Gaz at the plate. 2 away in the fourth. Gaz 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Missed inside, ball 1. One ball and no strikes for Volmerding. Well struck to center field and deep. Back toward the wall. Casey Murray Jr. fields it, fires it in. Relay throw. Castellon fires it home. Up the line. It's a 2-run double. Landon Gaz blows this thing open. 3-0 UC Irvine in the fourth.
For Gaz, just his fourth hit of the season, his first double. And RBIs 5 and 6 as UC Irvine takes a 3-0 lead.
Castanola and Penso both come home. Bases clearing 2-bagger for Landon Gaz in the 8th spot of the order. A 3 spot in the 4th inning to bring up Wilbur Muniz in the 9-hole. First pitch low to Bermudez. Well, Volmerding was really moving through the order before hitting a couple of batters in this inning. Now back-to-back base hits. Strike 1 called. Bermudez today 0 for 1 with a ground out to the first baseman. Dode took it unassisted.
Remember, Volmerding hit 2 batters in the inning, and they have both come around to score.
Just missed the zone inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Top of the order, Frankie Carney and his .422 batting average awaiting in the on-deck circle. Ground ball to Castellon, handles it. On a hop, And in time for the final out of the inning to get Bermudez 6-3. 3 runs come home. A 2 RBI double from Landon Gez highlights the 3 spot for 12th ranked UC Irvine. We're moving to the bottom of the 4th, but the Eaters in control in San Luis Obispo. Back in San Luis Obispo, how about a 3 spot for UC Irvine to go on top in the 4th inning? 12th ranked UCI over Cal Poly. Late 2-out rally half an inning ago gives Trevor Hansen a little bit of a cushion on the hill here. Irvine with 30 wins before May in a very good spot against Cal Poly. Anteaters up 2 games in the Big West standings at the top. Cam Hoyland, Nate Castellone, Dylan Cordick, 6, 7, 8. Due up in the inning to try and build up some offensive production for these Cal Poly Mustangs. Alongside Eric Burdick, I'm Max Kelton. Pleasure to have you with us live in San Luis Obispo. Hoyland at the plate here. He singled in his last at-bat. A .342 hitter in the 6th spot. Hoyland swings through the changeup for strike 1.
Mustangs have had base runners in every inning, including 2 in the 2nd and 3rd frames, but unable to bring any of them home, stranding all 5.
Strike 2. Josh Volmerding had held the Anteaters in check before hitting 2 batters just an inning ago. Then a barrage of hits from UC Irvine. Just missed outside. Hansen, who has pitched to contact today, he got out of a jam back in the 3rd with runners at the corners. A very nifty play from the 3rd baseman Castanola. But the Mustangs have threatened. Seen good opportunities today for Cal Poly. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hoyland takes ball 3. Count runs full to lead off this bottom of the 4th inning after UC Irvine opened up the scoring a half inning ago. Payoff. Driven foul territory and out of play. This was a very anticipated series between these 2 teams, both atop the Big West Conference all season long. Cal Poly had led through the first 12 games without a loss. Now Irvine with a 2-game lead. Payoff. Line drive, base hit into right field. Hoyland has his 2nd single of the day. Well, the buzz around this series was palpable. Knew it would be a big series on campus here as well. Over 2,700 on hand for today's action at Baggett Stadium.
Now with the Mustangs down by 3, would you ask Castellone to bunt here?
I don't know. He did lay down a sac hit in his last plate appearance. And strike 1 got the bottom of the zone. Castellone yesterday, however, had a 2-for-4 day at the plate with a run scored. That 12-6 curveball drops in for strike 2. Castellone, one of 2 shortstops in this series on the Brooks Wallace watch list for the best shortstop in the nation. Bounced in the plate. Hoyland takes off. Throw down to second base is in time.
Hoyland taking off when he saw the pitch was in the dirt, but just couldn't get to the bag in time as the catcher, Blake Penso, with a strong throw, gets him for the first out of the inning.
Penso with a good throw on the right side of the bag. How about Blake Penso, the catcher, who just hit a screamer up the middle to score the first run of the day, comes home to score himself a batter later. Now with a nice defensive play, making it look easy for UC Irvine. There's one away in this bottom of the fourth inning. 1-2 count for Nate Castellone. He's batting .326 this season. The pitch. High and out. Caught his hand. That's his glove hand for the righty. Again. It's a breaking ball that just kind of hung inside. His left hand. Has started every game at short for Cal Poly this season. Clearly some discomfort. Coach Larry Lee, Neil McIver, out of the dugout. He's smiling, he's fine.
Castellon hit for the 5th time this year. And it looks like he's going to stay in the game as he hands his batting glove to Quincy Winkler.
All right, Castellon is aboard as a hit batsman. After Hoyland was cut down on the base path, he's singled to open up the inning. Now Castellon on first. Hoyland was caught trying to take the extra bag. That brings up Dylan Kordick, who's 0 for 1 today. Swung on and fouled away. Offering Kordick some off-speed pitches. That's how it went in the first at bat. A changeup that would just die below the zone. Fastball high and out. Ball 1. Kordick, a former quarterback at San Pedro High School. True leader on this team. 1-1 ground ball. Yeaman takes it to the bag and on to first for out number. 2025 Big West Baseball Championship is set May 21st through the 24th at Goodwin Field on the campus of Cal State Fullerton. See all 4 days of action from the best seats in the house for just $15 a game. To purchase tickets, go to bigwest.org/Omaha. We welcome you back here to Baggett Stadium. UC Irvine leads Cal Poly as we move to the 5th. A 3 spot in the 4th inning for 12th-ranked UCI has put them in control. It's Star Wars Day here, Eric. How about that? Now, I've kept this secret long enough. I've never seen Star Wars.
I've seen 2 of them.
I heard from my producer, Andrew Baird, in my ear. He said, oh, no. What? Well, it's time to... I'm not lying anymore about it. I just haven't had the time. There's so many, and it's stressful to catch up to it.
You've probably seen the Harry Potter series, right?
Well, I've seen the first Harry Potter movie maybe 6 times. Aside from that, nothing else.
Really?
Frankie Carney at the plate. He's 0 for 2.
Well, I've got a little secret, too.
I'm sure you have plenty than just one. That's strike 1 in there to Frankie Carney.
Remember the series Planet of the Apes?
Oh, yeah.
I went to a movie theater that had all 5 and sat there for 10 hours to watch each of them. That was at least 30 years ago.
Eric just going through all the popcorn in the whole theater.
That's about.
Strike 2 for Carney. Josh Volmerding back on the mound here. Through the first 3 2/3. It was easy munching popcorn watching Volmerding work through these hitters. But a 2-out rally for UC Irvine. As Josh Volmerding strikes out Frankie Carney for the first out of the inning. It's his 9th strikeout of the day. Ties his season high.
Career high.
So Carney goes down looking. His 2nd strikeout of the day, now 0 for 3. Colin Yeaman, the 2-hole hitter at the plate. A 4-0-2 batter. He's without a hit this afternoon. Yeaman grounded into a double play. Struck out swinging back in the 3rd inning as well. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Yeaman turns on that fastball. Couldn't catch up to it off the outside.
Checks his home plate umpire. Did I swing at that pitch? Did I swing at a strike? And I think the home plate umpire, Mr. Ruiz, said no.
Smiling through the mask back there. 1-1. Line drive to right field. Cordick comes in and makes the catch. 2 down. Jacob McCombs has reached base safely on both occasions. 1 for 1 with a single. Reached as a hit batsman and came around to score. That was an inning ago. Now with 2 away. Volmerding. Ball 2 outside. Well, it's a little brighter here at Baggett Stadium than it was when we first started. Clouds have started to roll out. More blue peeking through the sky. 2-0 high chopper to Fenn. 3 up, 3 down in the 5th frame. Irvine on top of Polly, but Volmerding gets back into his groove. Talk about picture-perfect conditions. What a day it is here in San Luis Obispo. We welcome you back here. It is the bottom of the 5th inning. You see Irvine on top of Cal Poly, but if you're enjoying a day at Baggett Stadium, score don't matter. It is just an awesome day to be out here. Sky is blue. Rolling hills are green. And the 9-1-2 due up for Cal Poly at the plate. 12th ranked UC Irvine on top by 3 runs. Trevor Hansen returns to the hill, the starter for the Anteaters. Dante Vecchini back up to the dish here. He'll lead off the 5th frame as the Mustangs need a bit of run production. Both teams with 4 hits in the ball game. Irvine, however, the only runs on the day. Vecchini steps in after he grounded out to the first baseman earlier today. He skies the first pitch he sees. Jacob McCombs for out number 1. Top of the order, Zach Dode. Has reached base safely twice today. Now for his 3rd plate appearance. He'll dig in on Hansen. Dode laced a single, also walked. Shows bunt, pulls it back, and takes strike 1.
Castaneda playing behind the bag at 3rd, so why not lay down the bunt?
Ball 1 missed. Caught the zone. Strike 2 to Dode. He doesn't like the call. Hansen getting into a bit of a groove here. 1-2. Just missed low. Got him to swing. Strike 3. 2 away. Dode goes down on strikes. Third strikeout of the day for Trevor Hansen. He's now made it 4 2/3, 4 hits, no runs. Ryan Fenn at the plate. Fenn watches a ball. Oh for 1 today with a sac hit. He also reached on a fielder's choice as well. Fenn in the 2 spot. The everyday starting second baseman for Cal Poly. 1-0, high chopper foul. Started his collegiate career at Cuesta College, a JC right down the road. Transferred over here in 2023. Back up the middle, diving stab by Bermudez, but it gets through for a base hit. First hit of the day for Ryan Fenn. First hit of the series as well. He's aboard with a 2-out single. Bermudez, the second baseman with some great range, just could not get a glove on the ball. Fenn, who continues to hit well, he's now on first. Garza at the plate, 0 for 2. First pitch into Garza, hits the outside zone. Cal Poly looking to mount a 2-out rally, just as UC Irvine did an inning ago. 0-1. Strike 2 called. Ball 1 low. Penso keeps it in front of him. Garza at the plate, the reigning Big West Freshman Field Player of the Year. Cal Poly earned both freshman honors. We saw Griffin Ness yesterday, the Big West Freshman Pitcher of the Year honor last season. And Garza has been so good in his sophomore year as well. Swung on and missed. That's strike 3. Garza goes down for the second time on strikes today. 4th strikeout of the afternoon for Trevor Hansen. Through 5 in San Luis Obispo. Hansen and the Eaters with a 3-0 lead. Yeah, I feel like I'm in the stands too with a shot like this. Here in Baggett Stadium, 3-0 UC Irvine. Early afternoon, and Irvine has this one in control. Looking to add some insurance. Top of the 6th inning. We'll see Josh Volmerding back on the hill for Cal Poly in just a moment. Nearly a totally full house here in San Luis Obispo. 2,700 plus on hand for Game 2 of the set between 12th ranked UCI and Cal Poly. Josh Volmerding with 9 strikeouts, at times a career high. However, a 3 spot in the 4th inning as UC Irvine comfortably on top. 4, 5, 6, heart of the order due up here. Chase Call will get the Anteaters going. He's struck out twice. Call, a big body. That's what you see through the middle of the order here for UC Irvine. Really physical lineup. Aggressive at that, too. True power. First pitch from Volmerding. Chase Call, the right fielder. We mentioned yesterday his brother Phoenix, who plays for UCLA. The two teams met earlier this week. 15th ranked UCLA went down to Irvine to meet 12th ranked UCI. As ball 1 missed. Chase Call in his 3rd year. True action with this UC Irvine team. 2023 All Big West honorable mention. Last year started 50 games as well. Really patient hitter. Loves to earn the walk. 2 balls, 1 strike. Volmerding comes on home. Fly ball right side, foul territory. Kordick won't get there. "90 pitches on the day for Josh Volmerding. See how long the leash is here as he gets deep into the pitch count. But Volmerding has been fairly solid against an explosive UC Irvine team. Ripped foul. Count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Volmerding, the sophomore southpaw out of Santa Rosa. Got him! Strike 3! 10th strikeout of the day for Josh Volmerding. He sets down Chase Call on strikes for the 3rd time this afternoon.
And establishes a new career high with 10 strikeouts on the year. Or I should say, on the day.
That brings up Anthony Martinez. Also sets up the second baseman Ryan Fenn in shallow right field. Fenn with a long way to go for the baseball. Fields it, but no play. He's so far away from his traditional spot that Martinez is safe. Second single of the day. He's now 2 for 3. Castanola digs in, 0 for 1. Hit by a pitch and scored in the 4th. Swings through the fastball for strike 1. Batting .306 on the season. He shifts over from first base to third base this afternoon as well. Martinez on first with 1 away, the 0-1. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Irvine on top, 3-0 over Cal Poly. Top of the 6th inning. Volmerding with 10 strikeouts, a new career high. 0-2. Here comes Volmerding. Just missed.
He did. That was awfully close.
One ball and 2 strikes with a runner on first and 1 away. Volmerding offers home. Fouled away. Castanola batting 6th today in search of his first hit. He's got 4 career home runs for UC Irvine over 1.5 seasons, 2 of which came yesterday in the series opener. 1-2. Foul tipped, but Collins couldn't squeeze it. Just a foul at that then.
That is correct.
Middle infield to double play depth. Already have turned 1 double play on each dugout today. Josh Volmerding comes home. Outside, ball 2. This Irvine team has done a very nice job just battling through Volmerding, working that high pitch count. He's up to 100 pitches on the afternoon. Long at bats, fouls, battles. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Volmerding. Watched in for strike 3 called. 11 strikeouts on the day. Josh Volmerding just sneaks it in. Caught Castanola looking. Second strikeout of the inning. Both go down looking.
McCombs and Bermuda's the only 2 anteaters who have yet to strike out today.
Blake Penso at the dish. Sure, he struck out once. He's also driven home a run and an RBI single and then scored on the ensuing batter. He's 1 for 2. UC Irvine on top 3-0 over Cal Poly. Top of the 6th inning. 2 away. 0-1 count. Volmerding comes home. Got the zone. You see 12th ranked UCI. Going for the series win today. Game 3 tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Chris Sylvester and Eric Burdick will have the call for you. Already 11 strikeouts on the day. Here comes Josh Volmerding. Oh, 2 to Penso here. Just missed the outside zone. A ball and 2 strikes to Penso in the 7 hole. 2 away with Martinez on first. Driven to left. Bikini there. That's out number 3. Volmerding retires this side once more. 1 hit, but no runs. Irvine by 3 as we move to the bottom of the 6th in San Luis Obispo. Don't you go anywhere. It is a packed house here in San Luis Obispo Baggett Stadium. UC Irvine on top of Cal Poly. Irvine ranked number 12 in the country by D1 baseball, as high as number 11 in some polls, and on top 3-0 as we move to the bottom of the 6th inning. Heart of the order due up for the Mustangs, who need a little bit of run production. Trevor Hansen has been dealing. It has been more of a pitcher's duel. Josh Volmerding for Cal Poly with a career-high 11 strikeouts. Just hasn't had any offensive production to go with it.
No, and
Trevor
he had
Hansen.
2 outs
Yeah,
and
go
2
ahead,
strikes on a hitter and couldn't get the out that would have prevented UC Irvine from scoring any runs in the 4th inning.
Sure thing. Hit that batter, then 3 more would reach. Well, Jack Collins steps in. First pitch laced foul. Collins today 0 for 1 with a walk as well. That's upstairs. We mentioned the pitch count getting up there for Josh Volmerding. He got out of the 6th inning with 104 pitches. That pitch high to Jack Collins was the 81st pitch of the day for Trevor Hansen. Collins sends another one foul.
Collins needs to hold up on those breaking pitches just a little bit more and stroke it into fair territory somewhere.
1-2. Always ahead of that off speed. Collins blasted a 3-run shot over the left field wall yesterday to open up the scoring in the first frame. His team high 11th home run of the year. 1-2. Just off the outside corner. Hansen nearly got the zone, but that's ball 2.
Mustangs have batted in 13 innings since that 3-run home run and have scored just once.
Collins wore it.
Nope.
Coach Larry Lee.
I don't know if he's calling it a swing or is he saying he had to stay at the plate.
I think with 2 strikes he would be out here, but I could be mistaken. You could see Larry explaining his case to home plate umpire Eduardo Ruiz. Justin Havey, the first base umpire. Troy Hodak, he's the crew chief.
I don't think he has any conferences left. Didn't he call for one earlier?
Rarely do you see Larry Lee giving an umpire a piece of his mind like this. A little bit more heated than you've seen from this 23rd year head coach, the winningest coach in Big West baseball history. Let's watch that one more time. Here's the call.
You know, he kind of stuck the elbow out a little bit.
And Collins is out. Is that ruled as a strikeout?
I'm putting it as 2 unassisted.
All right. Yeah, one more time. Yeah, he does wing it out a little bit. Casey Murray Jr. skies a baseball. Third baseman Castanola makes the play, 2 down. Two quick outs for Trevor Hansen in the bottom of the 6th. Cam Hoyland at the plate with a pair of singles. He's 2 for 2. How about that batting average? It's ballooned up to .351 for Hoyland in the 6 hole. Ropes one foul on the left field line. Hoyland has been such a pleasant surprise. Really didn't get a start until the middle of the season. High chopper to second base. Bermudez charges and throws on the run. 3 up, 3 down for Hansen in the 6th. Eric Burdick will have the top of the 7th for you in just a moment. Irvine leads in San Luis Obispo.
We go to the 7th inning. UC Irvine leads Cal Poly 3-0, and Josh Volmerding day is done after throwing 106 pitches and recording a new career-high 11 strikeouts. Tanner Seguspie comes out of the bullpen for Cal Poly. Seguspie 3-2, 2.27 ERA, 21st appearance on the mound. That leads the squad, 6 saves. 41 strikeouts and 31 plus innings. And Seguspie will be facing 8, 9, and 1 in the UC Irvine batting order here in the 7th. Landon Gaz will lead it off. It was Gaz who hit the 2-run double to put UC Irvine on the scoreboard back in the 4th inning. We do have a pinch hitter for Gaz.
Your attention, please. Pinch hitting for number 21, Gaz. Number 25, Alonzo Reyes.
Alonzo Reyes, a catcher and infielder on the UC Irvine roster, will pinch hit in the DH spot for Gaz. So Gaz goes 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs and gives way to Reyes, who takes inside ball 1. Reyes hitting .289. Two and 0. high fastball called a strike, 2-1. UC Irvine with 3 in the 4th, and that's it so far for either team. Another high strike, this one on the inside corner, 2-2. Gooseby delivers, a little bit low, ball 3. Bermuda's on deck, to be followed by Kearney. 3-2 pitch, called strike 3. At the knees, 1 away here in the 7th. Strikeout number 12 by UC Irvine batters today. Volmerding with 11 and 6 innings of work. And Gooseby strikes out the first man he faces. Bermuda's 0 for 2 with a couple of ground balls, hitting .229. Grounded foul, 0-1. Hits are even at 5 apiece, but Cal Poly hasn't been able to find the timely hit, stranding 6 runners on the base paths. 1-1 the count. Attendance today, 2,782. Series finale Sunday at 1 o'clock. One pitch swung on and missed. Gooseby delivered low and outside, 2-1. Make that 2-2.
How about the evolution of Tanner Sagoospie's role on this team? Sagoospie, who started the season primarily as a closer, has now started to work through middle relief.
Essentially, it appears that Sagoospie and Jake Torres have traded. Torres has been the closer in a couple of recent games, with Sagoospie pitching as the setup guy.
And he's thrived in this role as well.
Another 2-2 pitch, low, ball 3.
Remember last week went 4 2/3 against UC Santa Barbara in the game 3, 4-0 loss.
One out, top of the 7th. 3-2, foul back. Ground ball to the right side. Fenn to today for the second out of the inning. Back to the top of the order for the Anteaters, Frankie Kearney, who has struck out twice and reached on an error, 0 for 3. Kearney hitting .407. Had the 10-pitch at-bat back in the first inning. Kearney upset with himself for swinging at that pitch, 0-1. Fastball outside corner, strike 2. Line foul. UC Irvine has been retired in order twice today, both by Volmerding in the 3rd and 5th. Seguspie trying to do it here in the 7th.
Well, sandwiched in between those 2 innings, that 3 spot from UCI.
0-2. Grounded foul outside of 3rd. UC Santa Barbara still leads UC San Diego with now 7-6. Gauchos batting in the top of the 8th in La Jolla. Everything else tonight in the Big West. Ground ball up the middle. Ben, off balance throw, and not too late. And Zach today thinks otherwise.
Remember, no replay here at Baggett Stadium, regardless.
No, but you can see the replay on your TV.
Yep. Another look.
Ooh,
Fairly close.
I think he was still in the air.
Shortstop, Colin Yeaman.
Gotta appreciate the hustle from Frankie Carney.
That is close. It'll be a infield hit for Carney, his first hit of the day. Hit number 6 for UC Irvine. Yeaman goes after the first pitch, and it's a fly ball to right. Catch is made by Dylan Kordick, and the inning is over. 6.5 innings in the book. UC Irvine still leads 3-0. Fans singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" as we head to the bottom of the 7th. For Hansen, still on the mound for UC Irvine. He has thrown 88 pitches. And he will face Nate Castillon leading off the 7th for Cal Poly, followed by Dylan Kordick. And Dante Vecchini. Mustangs trail at 3-0.
Leading off for the Mustangs, shortstop, Nate Castillon.
Castillon, no official at bat. Sacrifice bunt in the 2nd, hit by pitch in the 4th. His average is still at 326 and takes strike 1.
Eric, at this point, Hansen has been just tremendous over his last 3 outings. This
Down
now
low,
makes
1-1.
Yeah, this now makes 22 straight innings he hasn't allowed an earned run.
Just threw his 90th pitch of the game. 1-1 pitch, inside 2-1. Castillon leading off the 7th for Cal Poly. Castillon swings at a pitch high in the strike zone, fouls it back. Two pitch, curveball called, strike 3. 1 away here in the 7th.
Just
5th strikeout for Hansen.
another one of those days. Cal Poly can't get anything going at the plate, man.
They've had a couple of these kind of games over the last 3 weekends. Lost once to Hawaii, lost twice to UC Santa Barbara. Dylan Kordick takes strike 1. Kordick has a look at the home plate umpire. Eduardo Ruiz. Kordick 0 for 2. Strike 2. Kordick struck out and grounded into a double play. Hansen steps off the rubber. 1-2. Line drive base hit to right field. Kordick with Cal Poly's 6th hit of the day. UC Irvine also with 6, but the Anteaters have 3 runs on the scoreboard.
Really good seeing Kordick get a hold of this baseball and just level it into right field. Didn't try and do too much. Pull hitter. Gets a low line drive and sneaks it through the right side. He went 0-for in that Santa Barbara series, was down on himself. This is his first start of the Irvine series. Able to get his first hit as well.
McKinney 0-for-2. Hitting .270. First pitch, strike 1. Hansen throwing about 66% strikes on the afternoon. 0-1 pitch. A little bit low, 1-1. High and outside, 2-1. Freshman left fielder Dante Vecchini at the plate for Cal Poly. Having a look at his third base coach for a sign.
All it takes is stringing together a couple of these hits, and the Mustangs are right back in the ballgame. It's just 3-0.
Grounded foul.
That said, it does feel like a much larger margin because Cal Poly hasn't been able to score anybody today.
Cal Poly with 2 hits in an inning just once. Back in the second, Murray and Holland led off with singles, but they were stranded at second and third. 2-2 to Vecchini. Line drive to center field. That will be caught by McCombs for the second out of the inning. Ball hanging up just a little bit too long. Kordick remains at first. Here's Zach Daudet. Today with a base hit and a walk, 1 for 2. Grounded up the middle, but the shortstop is there. He throws low to second base. But Bermuda is able to hang on. Yeaman with the throw, and Cal Poly retired in the 7th. No runs, a hit, 1 left. Max Skelton back with the 8th in a moment. Mustangs trail UC Irvine 3-0.
Happy to have you back with us here in San Luis Obispo. Top of the 8th we go. UC Irvine over Cal Poly. A matchup between two Titans in the Big West. 12th ranked UCI looking for the series win. Mustangs haven't been able to record any run production. Tanner Seguspie in relief for Josh Volmerding. Looking to keep Irvine in check and this thing close at that. 3-4-5 due up here. Jacob McCombs to lead things off. Tanner Seguspie back for Cal Poly, retired the side in order. An inning ago. McCombs at the plate. 1 for 2 today with a single. First pitch right down the pipe, strike 1 taken. We mentioned how Seguspie started this season in late relief, now in middle relief. Has just evolved his role. 0-1 breaking ball in there for strike 2. Former football player himself out of Madera, California, the near Fresno area. He throws that 12-6 patented curveball like a football. 0-2. Yanked a fastball in front of the plate. But he's a two-way guy. During his senior year at San Joaquin Memorial High School in Fresno, hit .490 as a senior, came to Cal Poly as a catcher before being converted. Got him to swing. That's strike 3. And Sagusby converted to a pitcher only last season. 2 years back, he was catching for the Mustangs, backing up Ryan Stafford, who was drafted in the 5th round of last year's 2024 MLB draft. Last season in his first year as a pitcher only, a 2.84 ERA over 18 appearances. Fastball high to Chase Call, who has gone down on strikes thrice this evening. Strike one called. Sagusby, 3rd all-time in career saves for Cal Poly. 2nd, he would have to get to 19. There's that curveball. Right now sits at 16 career saves. (3-1) here to Chase Call in the cleanup spot of the order. Call, a .309 batter. Yesterday went 2 for 3. Today hitless. Sagusby set. Here comes the 3-1. Driven deep to left field toward the line. It just sneaks foul. Fairly close. You see that CP out there on the left side of the foul pole? That's where it hit. Just snuck into foul territory. And the count runs full here for Chase Call, who takes his time coming back to home plate. Anthony Martinez, the 5-hole hitter in the on-deck circle. Hands Call back that pink sword. Full count. Here's the decider. Missed low, and Call earns the walk. Just one away. Call on first base for Martinez, who's rocked a pair of singles today.
First baseman Anthony Martinez.
Anthony Martinez batting 5th. He's 2 for 3. Hasn't advanced past first base despite those 2 hits. Sagusby comes home. Base hit up the middle. That rolls straight into the gap for Murray, who fires it in. Call held up at 3rd base. He moves first to 3rd on the single from Anthony Martinez, his 3rd knock of the day. And with 1 away in this 8th inning, Irvine looking to add a couple insurance runs. Casey Murray Jr. was playing toward the left center gap, had to shift into the right center alley to get that baseball. Now pitching coach Seth Moyer will walk out to meet with Tanner Sagusby. He comes out in situations like this just to simplify things for his pitcher.
Pitch ready for number 55, Martinez. Number 36, Zach Felstad.
Zach Felstad, pinch running for Martinez here. And Moyer just letting Tanner know, hey, throw an off-speed away, get a ball in the dirt, let's turn 2, let's get out of the inning and give our offense a chance to get something going. Cal Poly will have 2, 3, 4 due up in the next inning, but right now Irvine with runners at the corners and only 1 down. Josh Morano warming up the bullpen for Cal Poly. He's been lights out as of late. 3 runs manageable, 4 runs a little more out of reach. But Seguspi's got the confidence. You mentioned he's out of San Joaquin Memorial High School in Fresno. Spent time there with Jalen McMillan of the Tampa Bay Bucks. Jalen Green of the Houston Rockets as well. He said, that's my boy. Now Goose on the hill here with 1 away. Runners at the corners. James Castanola at the plate, 0 for 2 today. First pitch swinging, he fouls it out. Castanola blasted 2 home runs over the left field wall yesterday in the series opening win for 12th ranked UC Irvine. Now a chance to put a statement down in the 8th. Without a hit this afternoon, he's batting .303 on the year. Segusby looks to third, now delivers. Breaking ball, hung high. Swung on, fouled away by Castanola. He was hit by a pitch and scored in the 4th inning. Looking to drive home some more runs. He has 2 RBIs on the weekend as it is. A ball and 2 strikes, Segusby. The pitch. Missed well above the eyes. On third base, chase call. He worked a walk after a full count. Felstad pinch running on first base after Anthony Martinez had his 3rd single of the day. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Driven to center. Murray back. He makes the catch, tagging from third, chase call. He scores. And Irvine leads it 4-0 in the 8th inning. You see Call coming home to score. .45th run of the season for Chase Call, 1 behind the Big West lead, held by his teammate, Colin Yeaman. 2 away with Felstad on first, Blake Penso at the plate. A 4-0 ball game after Segusby allows 1 to come home and score on the sac fly from James Castanola. His run driven into the series. Top of the 8th inning here. Segusby over there again. One ball and no strikes here to Blake Penso. 1 for 3 today. Singled in the first run of the game, then came home to score himself. Close, but no cigar. Felstad started yesterday's action. He's at first base now as a pinch runner. At the plate, Penso. Got the inside corner. Count is level with 1-1. As Segusby continues to fire over there, buying time for Josh Morano in the bullpen. .4-0 ball game, 12th ranked UC Irvine ahead. Could win the series this afternoon. Close again. Clearly doesn't want to give Penso a chance here. Thinks they can get Fellstad at first. Dode continues to slap that tag down. Ball and a strike. Fellstad goes. Flown foul territory. Dode gives chase. It is out of play and into the stands. Well, Fellstad was running on that pitch, and Jack Collins behind home plate. Former high school teammates with Zach Fellstad from Santa Margarita High School. Gotta imagine he wanted the chance to throw him out at second base. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Saguspi. Why not? Feels like 10 times he's thrown over there. Outside, ball 2. A walk, a single, and a sac fly over the last 3 batters. Irvine added to its total here in the top half of the 8th inning. We'll see if Trevor Hansen comes out, the starter for the Anteaters, for the bottom half of the frame. Dode continues to slap the tag down. Saguspi. Pickoff move. Ball kicks away from Collins, but Fellstad knows his arm. Doesn't go anywhere. Count runs full. That was a pitch out. That Saguspi just missed the spot. It should have been high and out. Instead, it was high and in. Full count here, so the runner will be going with 2 strikes. Saguspi goes home. He missed the zone. And the fans letting Eduardo Ruiz, the home plate umpire, hear it. A long walk drawn by Blake Penso. Fellstad on second, Penso at first. Landon Gaz was in this 8th spot. Strike 1 comes on over. Reyes 0 for 1 today, struck out looking in the 7th inning. Drops him down to a knee for strike 2. Reyes batting .400 against Big West opponents this year. Behind in the count, 0-2. The 2-strike pitch. Ball 1. Ball 2 now. Late in the ball game here. Already one run has come home in this top half of the 8th inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, and 2 on for Seguspy on the hill. Reyes at the plate. Got him! Seguspy sets him down on strikes. Reyes goes down with 2 aboard. Irvine scores 1 on 1 hit in the inning with 2 left stranded. Seguspy get another strikeout for Cal Poly. Irvine leads by 4. Back here in San Luis Obispo. The 8th inning, late in the ball game here. And Cal Poly trails UC Irvine 4-0. Baggett Stadium, Central Costa, California. Irvine added 1 in the top half of the 8th inning. Mustangs have worked through Trevor Hansen, recorded 6 hits, walked twice, yet nothing to show for it. 2, 3, 4 due up for the Mustangs here in the 8th inning. Ryan Fenn will get us going. Fenn today is 1 for 2. He singled back in the 5th. Hansen, first pitch into Fenn, driven to left center field, playable for McCombs. 1 pitch and 1 out. Hansen up to 104 pitches today. At this point, you haven't been able to get anything going on him. Let's slow things down. Let's work his pitch count. His highest pitch count of the season came a week ago against Hawaii. Through 9 innings, complete game 3 hit baseball without allowing a run, 120 pitches. Alejandro Garza without a hit today. He takes ball 1 down and out. An uncharacteristic 2 strikeouts on the day for Alejandro Garza. First time that's happened all year. 0 for 3. Ground ball to Bermudez. 3 pitches and 2 outs. Jack Collins will dig in. Collins was hit by a pitch in the 6th inning, but called out as the umpire said that he leaned into it. Collins swings through the breaking ball for strike 1. One and one count here for Collins in the cleanup spot. Cal Poly down to its final 4 outs. Ball 2. 4-0 ball game after Irvine able to add an insurance run a half inning ago. Gotta imagine Hansen right now eyeing his 2nd straight complete game shutout. Three balls and a strike to Collins in search of his 2nd walk of the day. This is what you got to do late in the ball game when a pitcher is dealing. You be patient. Ball 4 outside. Collins earns a 5-pitch walk. Casey Murray Jr. (111 pitches, 7 2/3, 6 hits, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, and a call to the bullpen. Trevor Hansen's day comes to a close. Count it 23 2/3 innings of scoreless baseball for Hansen. Hasn't allowed an earned run over that frame. After a complete game shutout 1 week ago, Hansen works 7 2/3 without a run allowed today. Still responsible for Collins on first base, but a new pitcher comes in here for UC Irvine. We will see David Butler in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. It's late in a battle between two Big West types. Back here in San Luis Obispo as Hansen's day on the hill comes to a close. Now David Butler takes over in relief. Butler with a .230 batting average against. This is his 20th appearance of the season for UC Irvine. That's a team high. 4.10 ERA for the Anteaters. He now faces the 5-hole hitter in Casey Murray Jr. Both these players, former teammates at Riverside Community College. Butler yanks a fastball outside. Murray at the plate, 1 for 3 today. Both Riverside natives. That's inside for a ball 2. Back in 2022, these two won a state title together. Ball 3 inside. All the Mustangs had to do was knock out Trevor Hansen to find a little breathing room. Now looking to work a 2-out rally in the 8th. Caught the zone for strike 1. (3-1). Murray swings through strike 2. Count is full, so Collins on first base will be moving on the pitch. Murray, a .342 hitter during that championship season with Riverside Community College, his former teammate David Butler. Ground ball to short. Yeaman fields onto 1 in time for out number 3. Collins walks and he's left aboard. Irvine with 3 outs to add. We move to the 9th in San Luis Obispo. Welcome back to San Luis Obispo. It's the Seguspie clan on hand. Tanner Seguspie's family here. I had one of Mama Goose's cookies yesterday. I tell you, she is a magician with the chocolate chips in the oven.
And you didn't share them with me?
Well, they'll see Tanner Seguspie back on the mound here. It's his 3rd inning of work for Cal Poly. He allowed 1 run an inning ago. Aside from that, has held UC Irvine in check. Seguspie looking to hold the Anteaters silent here for the top half of the 9th inning. Number 12, UC Irvine tries to win the series today after a 6-4 win in the series opener yesterday on Friday evening. 9-1-2, Will Bermudez to lead things off. First pitch from Seguspie. High and out. Seguspie's recorded 3 strikeouts over 2 innings so far. As that one missed inside. Big strikeout day for Irvine as a collective. Josh Volmerding had a career high 11 strikeouts. Seguspie's added 3 more. Yet the Anteaters with that 4-0 lead. Inside corner, strike 1 called. Bermudez in search of his first hit of the day, 0 for 3 with 3 groundouts. 3-1. 2-1, I should say, as strike 2 is called. Just missed away. Count is full here for Seguspie to the first hitter in the 9th inning.
Seguspie in the 7th and the 8th struck out the leadoff hitter, trying to do it again here in the 9th.
The payoff delivery. Missed inside. Will Bermudez trots on down to first base. A leadoff walk. Frankie Carney due up here with nobody away. He singled the last time at the plate. That was his first at bat against Tanner Seguspie. One of just 2 hits allowed by Seguspie today. Shows bunt, lays it down. Garza's there, fires to second, and Castellón stretches to get the lead runner. Shortstop Castellón covering the bag there. That throw nearly pulled him off.
You don't usually see a 5-6 force play at second. It's usually 5-4, but the way the Mustang defense was aligned, Castellón was much closer to the bag.
And Fenn was shaded a little bit over toward the first base bag to cover. Had Daudet, the first baseman, had to charge. Flown to right. Back there, Kordick. He catches the baseball for out number 2. Bermudez has to retreat. Excuse me. Carney has to retreat to the bag after Bermudez was out at second. So there's 2 away. Colin Yeaman, 0 for 5 today. He does not get on base. Jacob McCombs in the 3 spot, a .387 hitter. 1 for 3 with a run scored. McCombs swings through that breaking ball. Pitch count for Seguspie nearing 60, but he's thrown over to first base at least 15 times. And he throws it fast over there. Swung on and missed. That's strike 2.
I suppose you want me to keep that stat too.
I
Throws
already
over to
asked
first
too
base.
much of you. Yeah.
Or number of times Jack Collins throws to second base. Not gonna happen.
Here's the 0-2. Runner goes, ground ball back up the middle for a base hit. Frankie Carney goes first to third on a hit and run single from Jacob McCombs. Carney, who reached on a fielder's choice, dropped down that bunt, and it went 5-6. Now watch this. Seguspie nearly had it.
Tried to backhand it. Remember Griffin Ness? Were you a part of that game? When Griffin Ness backhanded a ball and threw the runner out at first?
I've seen Griffin Ness do that in the outfield for BP as well. He catches the ball behind his back. Ness, the Friday starter for Cal Poly. All right, Seguspie's on the hill here with runners at the corners for the cleanup hitter. Chase Call. Strike 1 off the inside edge. There's 2 away in the top half of the 9th inning. Irvine added a run apiece in each of the late innings yesterday in the win. Seguspie 0-1. High drive left field. Towering, and it took Vakini a second before he caught the ball. That's out number 3.
Oh, I thought for a moment Vakini had lost it. I think he did. But was able to find it somewhere in the blue sky and make the catch for the final out.
Cal Poly has 3 outs to work with, trailing by 4 in game 2 of the series. You see the distant P on the hill here overlooking Baggett Stadium. UC Irvine leads 4-0. That P represents Poly, of course, or in this case, maybe production, run production, offensive production. Cal Poly needs to start scoring. or else this series will go to the Irvine Anteaters. 12th ranked UCI on top 4-0 in search of the series win in Game 2 this Saturday here in San Luis Obispo. Cam Hoyland will lead things off in the 6-hole. Hoyland followed up by Nate Castellon and Dylan Kordick. David Butler on the mound for UC Irvine. He looks to close things out. Butler recorded just 1 out an inning ago. Now he faces Hoyland for the first time. First pitch outside. Butler fell behind in the count. 3 balls and no strikes to Casey Murray Jr. before Murray would ground out up the middle. Ball 2 away. Hoyland with a pair of singles today. He's 2 for 3. Pretty good series for Cam Hoyland to this point. The 2-0. Bottom of the zone, strike 1 called. That sweeping slider dances in on the outside edge. 2 balls and 2 strikes. David Butler, 4.05 ERA, looking to hold Cal Poly silent. Hoyland into center field. McCombs is there. 1 away. Poly down to its final 2 outs. 12th ranked UC Irvine has found a very special formula here in the Big West. An explosive offense, a tremendous starting pitching rotation. David Butler in relief offers a strike to Nate Castellon. 0 for 1 today. Dropped down a sac hit by a pitch, and struck out looking. That's a beauty. Started at the hip, curled all the way to the inside corner. Castellon behind 0-2. Butler. Bad miss outside. Just pieced it. Nate Castellon had a multi-hit effort yesterday. One of 3 Mustangs to rock 2 hits. Nothing to show for it today. 1-2, another battle here. Dirty pitch here from David Butler. Ball 2 outside. Got to start to string together some hits. Castellon in the 7th spot of the order. Freshman shortstop out of Calabasas. Belted a double yesterday that climbed halfway up the left field wall. Ground ball to Yeaman. 2 away. Cal Poly down to its final out. Colin Yeaman, one of the more sure-handed defensive shortstops in all of college baseball. 12th ranked UC Irvine has a chance to go up 3 games in the Big West standings. Strike one to Dylan Kordick. He singled through the right side the last time up. 1 for 3. Star Wars Day in San Luis Obispo, but no lightsabers to be found at the plate. Too corny? A little bit.
Especially for a non-Star Wars fan.
I wouldn't say I'm not a fan, I just haven't seen the flicks.
How did you know?
Missed away for ball 2. Two one misses low. 3 balls and a strike. Ball 4 inside. Cal Poly has a little life. Dylan Kordick earns a 2-out walk. He reaches base safely in each of his last 2 plate appearances to culminate this game 2. Barring a 4-run, 2-out rally, Irvine would jump to 18-2 in Big West play, earn its 31st win over 40 games this season. And Kordick takes second base with defensive indifference. Dante Vicchini now at the plate. 0 for 3. One and one count now. He's in the 9 spot of the order. We've seen this offense get hot, but it's got to be consecutive now. No lag in the action. Butler comes home. Caught the zone, strike 2. Irvine fans on their feet. Cal Poly down to its final strike. David Butler set for the Anteaters. 1-2 offer. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. 12th ranked UC Irvine wins the series at Cal Poly in a battle between 2 Big West Titans. David Butler closes it out after 7 2/3 scoreless from Trevor Hansen. Mustangs held scoreless for the 2nd time over the last 7 days, and UC Irvine with a 3-game lead in Big West play. 4-0 the final. Final thoughts from Eric Burdick.
UC Irvine now 31-9 on the year, 18-2 in the Big West. Cal Poly 28-13, losers of 4 of their last 5. 15-5 in the Big West. Winning pitcher Trevor Hansen goes to 7-0 on the year. No save in the game, and Josh Volmerding gets the loss. He's now 4-3. And the Mustangs, who have not been swept in a Big West series this year, will certainly try to avoid that tomorrow with the 1 p.m. series finale.
That's right. Irvine goes for the sweep tomorrow. Won the Big West battle. That series opener yesterday, 6-4. Today held Cal Poly scoreless, 4-0 the win. And the win goes to Trevor Hansen, his 7th of the season. Josh Volmerding with a new career high, 11 strikeouts, while suffering the loss to the Anteaters despite a quality start. 6 innings, 3 runs, 11 strikeouts. Well, for our championship crew here in San Luis Obispo, Game 2 comes to a close at Baggett Stadium. We thank you so much for joining us for all of the action this weekend. Chris Sylvester will have the call tomorrow, 1 o'clock, the series finale. This game and all games are archived on the ESPN app. For Eric Burdick, I'm Max Kelton saying so long from San Luis Obispo. This has been a presentation of ESPN.